Hello and welcome to the Apex Racing TV esports studio and our coverage of the season finale of Season 9 in the Apex Racing League GT3 trophy. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick, alongside me is David Sampson, and at the end of today's action we're going to be able to crown 4 new champions for one of our most prestigious series that we host on the channel. David, it's been a very fun season. It's been a long season as well. We've had a week break between pretty much every single round, and we head to Imola tonight to crown our champions.
Yeah, I've only just worked out what the 4th was, but team championship, of course. I've been running the whole time. Haven't heard your entire intro.
Haven't created a pro and pro yet.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, excited for this. 1 hour at Imola is going to be tricky. I love this track. Yes, it can be quite unforgiving with the curbs and the off tracks and the slowdowns. Actually, I'm not sure why I like it, but I think it just makes great racing.
It really does. Well, let's have a reminder of what happened in the previous race. We were at Long Beach last time out for a 60-minute race. And this was probably the only thing that really happened on lap 1, because it was a single fast start, and Haldus Utortus was very quick on that. Managed to get up in second place, and he was cleared by the stewards. There was no wrongdoing, and it was an opportunistic move.
Yeah, I mean, Long Beach just about being sensible. Bad timing to say that. Yeah, this was always going to be tricky, and I think overall it was handled really well. Sure, there were some moments. Yeah,
there's just this little bit of contact with Rinka and Senna spinning round, and a couple of drivers really benefiting massively from that. There was a long battle. This was 26 minutes into the race, and Russ Fowler, I think, spent the entire first 26 minutes ahead of Michael Everstein, with Everstein trying to get underneath. Eventually, he was able to do so, but we really saw from this battle more than anything just how tricky overtaking at this Long Beach circuit is.
Yeah, he had made it apparent he was quicker, but this was the time after, like you say, 20, 25 minutes where he could finally, get something done. But yeah, I love the fact that Porsche was looking for the 3 wide. For a split second, he thought about it.
Unlucky here for Livingston and Rinka with damage. I think a front left puncture, and was not able to take the corner, and unfortunately taking out Livingston after previous contact with one of the rookies that we had last time out. And that was about it. It wasn't really much of an action-packed evening, it must be said. Especially for this guy. He won by 12 seconds, Leon Mishka, and remarkably took the lead of the championship for the first time this season. But the lead that he carries into this final round is quite significant, and his points tally going into this event is looking very good. He's 50 points clear of Utortus. For context, that means that if Utortus wins tonight, Mishka needs to finish around P10 in order to consolidate the championship.
Yes. Oh, he's been on a dominant run. I'd say the first couple of races, I don't remember the result, but I don't remember Leon's name being in the podium position in the first couple, but since then, absolute storm of domination.
It really has been. The Pro-Ams is maybe, the most likely championship to change hands. It is 33 points, but Frederick Kokok was able to outscore Robin Viss by over 40 points, I believe, a couple of weeks ago. In fact, it's 23 points if I can do maths. So that one is still flexible, and we often see those Pro-Am drivers, of course, they're battling around that P10. That's where issues can occur. Yeah,
and I say, if Robin Viss was to get in a good qualifying, you can put those pros between you and build a huge margin in points.
Exactly. In the Amateur Championship, Vincenzo Occhipinti has been on a phenomenal run of form recently. He's won the past 3 races in the amateurs. Also won, of course, race 2 round 2 as well. That one's not going to change hands. It could change, but Livingston would basically need to get an overall podium. He's going to do it.
Yeah, but the more important standards is the battle between me and you on our driver picks.
Oh, we do have that.
We don't have a graphic.
We do.
No way.
We do, yeah. Yeah, that's coming up later on.
Okay.
But yeah. Lewis has been working hard. We've got the teams championship as well.
This has been a good battle.
Yeah, and Impulse have really come from quite far behind, and they are now 8 points clear. They've taken the lead of the championship. So Impulse and Mishka, who drives for Impulse, both taking the lead of the championship with 1 round to go. Absolute could still change it round, but the momentum is all with Mishka right now. and his teammate Raymond Shepherd as well. So they are going to be very, very tricky to beat in this final round. Let's have a look at our calendar. It feels like a long time ago that we were at Daytona. Because Suzuka are one wet race this season. That was an absolutely epic back then.
Yeah, it was the battle between Mishka and
Telman.
Telman, yeah.
Yep. But now we end up at Imola, which has hosted a lot of season finales, coincidentally, at ARL events over the last couple of years. And we're using the A format as well today, so just a 60% fuel usage. And of course, this is the exact same format as we had last time in this series at the circuit. And it was incredible. We'd never seen fuel saving like it. Drivers lapping 3 seconds off the pace.
It was a strange situation. Very strange situation. Because I think it was Eric Rousseff that was like, nah, and was just sending it. It's like, you guys can do what you want. I'm coming through. Do what you want.
Really, really strange race that we'll see if similar tactics are being used. We've got, of course, more... Oh, sorry, we've got the weather as well. Interestingly, it was raining 2 hours before practice started. I'm not sure if that counts as interesting. I may have lied there. But it was raining
2 hours.
So when the drivers got into the practice session, there was a little bit of wet on the track. Now it will be totally dry.
Sure.
We'll have 30 drivers lap round in practice. But yeah, nice little element there from iRacing that.
It could be off-track situations like hit entry could be still... Like there could be elements that haven't completely dried.
Yeah, it's not exactly warm, so yeah, it's not going to get rid of the water particularly quick. We have a couple more series, of course, starting up soon as well on Apex Racing League and Apex Racing TV. One of them is the Porsche Cup Series, which is starting in a couple of weeks. Sign-ups for that have filled up very, very quickly. We opened that, I think, 8 days ago, and we're already on about 50 entries, so only 10 remain. So if you want to take part in that, you'll need to probably sign up by the end of the week in order to take part, and that's a really fun series. We absolutely love to broadcast that one. Another very good race to broadcast will be the Touring Car Championship as well. Really good entries for this as well. That starts on Thursday, and we've got 8 entries remaining for that. We actually had one a few hours ago. So yeah, if you want to sign up for that, recommend doing so soon. First round is on Thursday, but yeah, try to sign up at least by the weekend to guarantee your spots on the grid. Which of those two are you more looking forward to?
Well, I think Porsche Cup's been my favourite series to broadcast. I don't know why, but I suppose equal car, like yeah. But I think the TCR, I assume it's going to be a lot of heat format stuff. It's going to be a short British track. Like, I'm excited, really excited for that. As long as it's not Wreckfest.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, every car that signs up, like, yeah, if you sign up at home, you can make it more of a Wreckfest potentially, because yeah, 50 cars at Brands Hatch Indy will be chaos. We've got a track guide for Imola with a few moments that we've seen from previous races here. And this was one of them a couple of months back. This is a three-way battle for the lead. And this is the main overtaking spot, of course, turn 1.
Yeah, I think I was broadcasting this race with Hammer. I think there was, yeah, good, really good racing. It's all about commitment. Oh yeah, the move for Van der Meij here. Very committal. Get on that curb. Some good racing. It's the off tracks here can be brutal. I assume you've given them 20?
Yep.
That's not bad.
Maybe an opportunity at Tosa, and then you head into Piratella. Outside line is very strong at Piratella. You can sort of track extend a bit. This is where the track limits aren't quite so strict, but still you're going to be pushing it. There's no physical deterrent on the outside there. The curb is minimal. Acqua Minerale, super tough section of corners.
Yeah, you only need to get it wrong once and your race is over.
This is pretty tough as well. Tanner Dibble in the Rick Motec series, carrying a bit too much speed into Alta.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit there. A little bit carrying too much. Yeah, really tricky. Again, all I'd worry about in that chicane is the off-track, because, yeah, like you said, there's no physical deterrence on this track, but the off-tracks rack up really quick. You can do a couple of lap here if you're pushing.
And maybe even a photo finish. The start-finish line comes up pretty late here. Now, obviously, we aren't running these Formula Ford cars. It'd be pretty interesting if we did. But this was a nice run from Yang Lin in the Formula Fords to get Christian Kabanka on the line. that was about a year ago. That was a very good finish. And there's a couple of other photo finishes as well that we could have used for that clip as well. But that one was probably the most entertaining one. So we were talking about the picks earlier on and the championship that really matters. Here's the current standings when it comes to the picks. We're both, I mean, I know I'm more of a loser, but we're both losers because for context, we've had 7 races and we make 3 picks per race.
No, it's pretty bad.
So it's 21. He's got 3 out of 21. I've got 2 out of 21, which is pretty embarrassing.
Yep.
But it's all to play for, potentially.
I'm feeling confident with my picks.
Yeah?
Yep.
Who are you going for this?
Me first. Leon Mishko is the pro. I think absolutely on-form driver. Actually unstoppable at the moment. I just think he's just in that rhythm, so he's going to win. Alexi Bari, a bit of an outlier pick here. It's really tough.
He did win last week. Don't give yourself too much credit. You've not gone totally rogue.
Okay, well, he's sitting, what, 4th, 3rd or 4th?
3rd, I think, yeah.
So I went with 1, okay. But he's a strong driver. I've got faith. And here, I think Bretones is 4th in AM.
3rd,
okay. Again, really good driver. I think he's going to do well. I think this is my trump card to win the trophy that matters.
Yeah. You can buy yourself a trophy for that one. For myself, I've gone for Howders. You saw us a 2nd place in championship. I've sort of gone for the 2nd place drivers generally. So your Tortoise and Coco, I think they'll still feel like they've got a small chance at the tights and will put a lot of effort in and have no sort of worries about taking any risks. They may as well go for it. And then I've sort of contradicted that because I went for Ochafinti because he's just been in such good form. He's won the last 3 races, and I feel like I've just got to go with the maths, seeing that I've got about an 8% correct rate when it comes to these predictions so far.
They're good picks, though. They are really good picks. Your picks are really good.
Yeah. After 8 rounds, we're sort of starting to figure out.
Yeah.
We'd hope. Well, we'll go to an advert now, but when we are back, we'll be commentating on qualifying for the final time this season.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Welcome to Imola. We are currently in the early stages of qualifying, and the amateurs just going out on circuit. And I don't think I said it before, but it's such a good circuit. It's a circuit which has been, frankly, butchered over the years. It's so much different to what it used to be when you think of Tamburello, and when you think of the Villeneuve chicane, of course, that used to not be there. Aqua Minerale has changed a lot over the years. Alta didn't used to be there. And of course, you've had some chicanes removed. There used to be an extra chicane at Alta. There used to be a chicane on the start-finish straight. It's changed so much, and yet it's still really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the changes were safety concerns over the years, right, with this track, how high speed it is and some of the exits and runoffs. So, yeah, it has been an evolving track. I think, what's the phrase? This is like Marmite. You either love this track or you hate it. There's no like, oh, yeah, Imola's okay.
Sure, yeah.
You either are like, no, those curbs and those off tracks and those slowdowns, no, thank you.
Let us know in chat which side of that debate you fall. I feel like the vast majority are going to fall in the former. because, yeah, I just think it's got such a nice play. I would get rid of Variante Alta. That would be my one change in this second thing. It'd open up Rivatsa a lot for some more overtakes. But besides that, it is a pretty good circuit. We are in the very closing stages of amateur qualifying. We haven't got many amateurs today. We've still got a decent field, just over 30 drivers taking part tonight. But not many of them are the amateurs. And currently, it's my pick, Vincenzo Occhipinti, who is setting the pace.
Yep, and that'll bring us 3-all.
That would, yeah.
We should see if we can get an overlay of like a live points based on the positions.
Yeah. Well, do we need the timing tower?
True.
Because the only reason why that matters is so that the viewers can see if our...
Yes.
But I think there's a more efficient way that we can bring this across, honestly. Occhipinti, yeah, still at the top, but he's in the pits. Livingston, he hasn't had I mean, we had such high expectations for Simon. And maybe, of course, Occhipinti's a rookie, so we weren't sure how quick he was going to be. And Livingston might get second place in the championship. I'm sure he would have had winning aspirations. We'll see if he can end the season on a high. It's only good enough for P3, though, in qualifying.
Yeah, very strong driver. I think he was at the beginning. He was our pick to win the division. But like you say, it's been tough. Has been tough.
Welcome to Dan Field in chat, of course. One of our commentators for the Apex Racing League, the race data AI Apex Racing League Brits Type Championship on a Monday evening, and had a very chaotic race at Long Beach in the wets on Monday. So tune in for that if you want to see some crashes. Fowler improving on that last lap, and your pick, Britona's not looking too good. He's at risk of starting last as it stands.
Yeah. It was a strategy I decided on earlier, like start last and finish first.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Save fuel behind everyone, stay out of trouble.
So now it's time for the Pro-Ams to go out on circuit. Here is Frederick Kokoke currently out there, and the driver's just saying their first laps, but is that a 1X?
Yeah.
Barry?
Yeah. Definitely got to keep a tyre on the outside tyres on the white line.
Yeah, so he will have to sacrifice this one. We have got a few qualifying bans as well tonight for drivers. We had quite a few last night actually at Long Beach as well, but a lot of the drivers who had those qualifying bans were not around. But today we have Viella, Lacine, Korshevin, Telman and Maya, all with qualifying bans. Telman, good to see Telman back. I will say that he's not representing Delachas anymore, is Lucas Telman. So he will be scoring points separately to the Delachas team, so their chances of getting a top 3 in the championship very much hurt by losing his services.
So he's privateering.
He is privateering.
Understood.
Not sure if his livery was changed though, so it might look a bit weird on stream. But he's not a Delachas car. He will be starting from the back, so it'll be an entertaining race. Korshevin is around, he will be starting from the back. Maya's around, he will be starting from the back. So, yeah, a few
Some
of our...
big heavy hitters there, yeah.
Yeah.
The poor AMs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Britonas won't be starting from last, but I feel like he might be last by the first lap, honestly.
Where's C, mate? Don't get too excited about your pick just yet.
Robin Bist goes to the top, championship leader, but second place in the championship, Kokoke, he goes a little bit faster, 2/10.
Where's my guy? Your picks
well, he went off the track, right? Picked up a 1X.
Your picks are looking really good right now.
Daniel Sebastian across the line for 9th in his Porsche. Any car that you'd favour for this Imola track?
Porsche. Wouldn't even try another car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tested here and I tested all the Porsche GT3s. No, it takes curbs good. It's all about traction, this track. I mean, something like the Audi or Lambo would work quite well.
When you say you tested all the Porsche GT3s, I remember you did actually do the Cup car in the officials around this track a few months ago.
Yes.
Did you quite enjoy it around there? Do you think it's like the rear engine sort of Porsche?
Yeah,
do you think it just works well around here?
Yeah, I think it's just, yeah, I mean, I really love Porsche Cup around here. It's one of my favourite combos in iRacing. Yeah, I don't know. This track is all about commitment, curbs and traction, and for me, that's Porsche. I say the Audi or the Lambo, probably the Audi would be your Lambo, I suppose. But no, I don't think I'd want to be in the McLaren. It's too stiff. The Acura, not really a fan. The Ford, it's good. It's good over curbs, but it's a bit of a boat.
Schuttler rounding the final corner. This will be his first proper lap. We've also got Lenny Kiefer just a couple of cars behind him in his only second race. Mola moves up to P3, and Schuttler is taking a bit of evasive action. I don't think that was a legitimate time for him. So his teammate Cialfi managed to set a time, and he goes to P10. Roger Pinty's time in the Amps is still holding up fairly well in P5 as it stands, but that quickly is beaten by Daniel Ash.
Yeah, I mean, these off-tracks are absolutely brutal.
Justin Herkenrath had a bit of a chaotic round, if I recall correctly, last time out, and he just goes P16 with his first attempt. So we've got 4 more minutes for these drivers to set times. Alexi Bari's just in front of him on his outlap, just coming out the pits.
As it's been all season, very close between Kokok and Wist there.
Yeah, Vis getting very close that time. If you're... I don't know, I guess there's not much he can do. I'm just thinking in terms of Kokok, he needs Vis to have a bad round, basically. As a driver, what can Kokok do to encourage that happening?
You shut it out and you do everything you can to maximise your result. Because sometimes, let's say it does go wrong for Wist and you're in an average position that just doesn't maximise the points to get it anyway. So he's got a hard enough job he needs to do anyway. He needs to really put the fight to a lot of the pros, really, to get the points he needs. And yeah, if something happens to Wist, something happens to Wist, but he just needs to shut it out and do everything he can.
I think if they're in the pros, it would maybe be a consideration, but being in the pro-ams, yeah, they've both just got to get as best a result that they can. And of course, it could still change. It could still change if Kokok can get maybe in the top 6 overall, which is very, very possible, and Vis finishes way down the order, then he might have a chance. There's a faster power course in this series, so it's unlikely that we'll see a retirement, but that's possible as well if a driver has a couple of significant crashes. You can see the top 6 all on outlaps as it stands. They'll have 2 attempts most likely.
Your Pindy there with the 49-inch. Can't tell the wheel. It's got a lot of writing on top. It's maybe Q, I'm not sure. Oh, we have enhanced, oh, purple lights at the top. Not actually sure then. Not sure. My brain will be brewing though.
Anyone from Cold Ice Esports, we do have a lot of drivers from Cold Ice Esports. Anyone that knows about that, do let us know what setup he's got.
Hello to Alan in chat. I blame David and Sam. That's accurate, to be honest.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Always great to have Alan around. How have you found the GT3s on Le Mans Ultimate rounds this circuit? Would you say, would your...
you really want me to go down this rabbit hole?
I think it's all right. Would you say the Porsche again is, would you say sort of like the cars translate over the sim?
I love Le Mans Ultimate, but I only really know the Ford and the BMW. Ford probably the most. You know, I've been bopping in iRacing for half a decade now, thousands of races, millions of laps. I can't do that in LMU. I can't even drive the Porsche in LMU, mate. I haven't done more than 5 consecutive laps without spinning. Yeah, so I don't really come with a wealth of experience over there. But, I mean, the Ford and the Bimmer are just such a thrill to drive. Such a thrill. I think the Ford GT3 over there might be one of my favourite cars at the moment in sim racing.
David Mola sporting the McLaren still in P3, but he's still got 1 more attempt. They can complete the lap that they start if they start it before the 20 minutes, and that looks like a very clean Tamburello for Mola right there. For Kokok, he's set a pretty good first sector, so he might be on improvement as it stands. And Ash, he storms to the top, 700ths of a second quicker than any other lap time another driver has managed so far, but I think there's going to be improvements from others as well before the end of this session.
So Liam Mishka in chat said GT Neo, and I thought about it for 2 seconds, and he's 100% right. Raised corner lights that are customizable in colour, that fits, and the writing on top, it says Sim Magic in large white writing, so yeah, very quick there. We actually covered that wheel today on the podcast, didn't we?
We did, or yeah, the bundle, yeah. So what's this lap like from Imola? I mean, nothing particularly spectacular from Coco, honestly. Actually, it's looking pretty good here to take pole position. Bari's also improving as well, currently P6. He needs to get a decent improvement if he is going to move up the grid. Coco back to the pits. It was a good sector 1 for him, but the rest of the lap fell away significantly. And so, yeah, there's not many more chances. Here is Imola. What is this lap looking like? One personal best sector for him. Vist comes back to the pits as well. I think Ash is going to be able to complete another lap if he so chooses. It was an improvement for Eberstein. He moves up to P6. Mola now approaching the line. I don't think this is going to get him up any places. And it doesn't. It's not an improvement.
My picks are not looking too great. Not going to lie, last and 7th so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pleased about mine at the moment. Ash comes back to the pit, so that'll be it for him. So what a great lap that was from Daniel Ash. Green IT Esports, the team that he represents. And yeah, they've absolutely nailed that. He's not just gone green, he's gone purple in those sectors to take pole in the Pro-Ams.
Yeah, very impressive. Leon Mishka there in the dark. I ain't predicting Will with that. Looks like he's just using hands. No gloves, though.
When did you make the change from no gloves to gloves?
I was really suffering with what's the where your fingers lock?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'd wake up with my fingers stuck in gripped position. Yeah, I was during the pandemic. You have to remember, I was doing 14-hour days on the sim.
Sure.
Yeah, so then I moved to gloves to give me the mid-palm grip, so I wouldn't need to sort of hold the wheel so much. And over the years, I've just stuck with it because of blisters and just. I mean, people mention it to me, but I do 7 to 10 times more driving than any pro driver does. Like, yeah, it's insane. It really does hurt your hands over a prolonged time, regardless of the forces that are going through the wheel.
So on this lap for the pro drivers, fantastic first sector for this man, Brandon Tabone. He's done a 20.7. His second sector is all right. It's not the fastest. Mishka, Abithu, and Sheffers going very fast in the second sector. In the third sector, Mishka very quick again. This is a pretty promising time for Mishka. Also, your Tortoise with a good third sector, but maybe lacking a bit in the first two. So I think it's going to be our top two in the championship. Perhaps gets him to the top on these first attempts.
Yeah, it's looking very promising. I mean, Brandon Sabone's been strong all season. He's not had the best of luck. Like, I think Hockenheim, Road Atlanta, Donington. I think he had a lot of bad luck, but he's looked very fast.
Yeah, let's see if he can get anywhere near those top two. I think Mishka's going to be one of the first to cross the line. As, yeah, they charge down here. And there is Mishka. Can anyone beat
4
that?
tenths faster as well. They both went.
Yeah, your Tortoise a long way off in the end.
So your Tortoise and Bitzer are on the Pro-Am pole time, whereas, yeah, Leon Mishka absolutely dropped it there.
Tim Griffin, race winner, back at Donington. Not an eligible lap for him to start off. But yeah, that is quite the gauntlet put down by Mishka, and it was a little bit in each sector. Sector 1, very strong. Sector 2 and 3 was maybe where, I mean, honestly, no, he's just rapid in every sector, honestly. Like, yeah, I think he might just have maybe half a tenth on everyone else through each sector.
Double apex in chat. Very well. Yes, I mean, you should see my hands. It adds up. 6 years of this every day adds up. Something chronic.
Grievin with a reasonable first sector, but quite a weak second sector. That's the Acca Minerale.
In the Audi, is the only Audi driver in the series, I believe.
I think you are right. Yep. Or is that right?
No. Got to slam, slam the first one and hook up the second.
Yeah, I did think that maybe he overshot it. Sheffers back to the pits as well. That's Impulse going for the team's championship today. with their 3 drivers. This team's challenge maybe falling by the wayside, not just in the drivers, but also in the teams. Of course, Telman was the championship leader for most of the season, pretty much until, yeah, round 6 of the championship, I think. And then he lost it with a very bad round at Donington.
Nurmi with an improvement to P8, new to the series. In the very only vet we have in the series.
Yes.
He messaged me, I don't know, a couple of days ago asking if the Porsche can clear all of the anti-cuts. And I was like, yeah, easily. And he replied, oh, I'm looking forward to racing in the vet then. Obviously struggling with curb strikes.
Peter Nodwell in chat, supporting Brandon Tabone.
Yep.
Up there in P6. I think Tabone's got a lot more pace than that. I think he just hasn't quite maximised his potential so far. His Tortoise cutting as much of the exit as possible. This is only an outlap though for him. He's got Mishka just lingering behind, I think. It's not Mishka, it's actually one of his teammates. It might be Sheffers.
Yeah, Tortoise had a good season. I think he probably wanted a little bit more rain than we gave him, but I think he's had a really solid season.
Have you been satisfied by the amount of rain? We've had one very wet round, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I like, not that many people do, I like the wet races where it just destroys the strategy. It comes somewhere in the middle-ish and then goes again.
Sure.
Like, I love all that, where you're, you know, maybe it just gets to wet conditions when it starts reducing in rain and you've got to make a giant decision. I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we get such a mixture in strategy. I mean, they probably wouldn't want it every week, 'cause it probably feels like a bit like the lottery. But I love, love, love all that. You stay out, lose 3-4 seconds a lap, and yeah, it's just, it really does brings out the best in drivers.
I think in Porsche GB at the weekends we get told what the weather is. I think it's going to start raining on like lap 3 of race 2. I think, or maybe it's going to be raining until maybe halfway through race 1, and so it'll be marginal for race 2 whether it's on slicks or dries, or slicks or wets. So yeah, some chaotic weather in that series. Certainly got enough rain in that one. But yeah, just the one wet round for this series. In the prototypes, we've had 2 wet rounds at Long Beach and Algarve, and it turns out Algarve is one of the worst circuits in the wet that you can do.
Yeah,
downhill hairpin at turn 4. You lock a brake, you're in the wall.
Yeah, 100%. Tricky track.
So you taught us with a underwhelming first sector, a good second sector, and an all-right third sector. So this isn't necessarily going to be an improvement, but if he can just improve by 100th of a second, that would be enough to put him on the front row of the grid. It's a bad... Oh, no, I was looking at a B3. It's a pretty good 4th sector for your Tortoise. This might be an improvement for him.
Yeah, it's a little bit off in each sector, though. The OK sectors aren't good enough. I don't know if this is going to be an improvement. Let's see. I think it's going to be very close.
Oh, he's lining up for another lap. Looks like taking the wide line.
Yep, build up a little bit more straight line speed.
So this will be it for him, I think. Oh, it'll be very, very close. He might have time for 2 laps if he's got the fuel. It'll be marginal.
Nurmi, how's Nurmi looking on this lap? Off in sector 1, good in sector 2. Sector 3, no, sector 3 was a slow one, so setting up for the next one.
Yeah, no personal best for Nurmi on this lap. Once again, nice to see that core sim racing livery back on the channel. And still, yeah, Daniel Ash up there in P4. Ochapinti, the highest pace amateur driver, in P16, which is sort of what we expect the top placed amateur driver to be. Brown moves ahead of Eberstein. He moves up to P13 now. Still Tim Grievens yet to put in an eligible lap time. I think he's done 4 attempts, but he's off tracks every single time.
Oof, yeah, I see that.
He is on a lap now, about halfway round 1. It looks actually pretty good, like his pace is solid, Tim, but he's yet to put it together.
I noticed Korsavin didn't get a lap in.
He's got a quali ban.
Right.
Yeah, so him, Telman and Maya with the quali bans.
Right, I remember you saying that now.
A B2 with a, well, very good sector 3 for a B2, good sector 4 as well. This might be an improvement, actually. It's not going to get him past Mishka. Mishka is in a different league, honestly, to everyone else it looks like. This might get him within a couple of tenths. Veal, his teammate, moves up to 5th, meanwhile.
Yeah, nice lap. But that lap from Daniel Ash stands out.
Yeah.
P4 overall. Zabuza goes to the line.
He did improve by about half a hundredth, or about 300ths, sorry. He managed to improve.
Right, Brandon Tabone to the line. Let's have a see who his sector times.
Excellent first sector. Brandon's first sector is very good. I saw it in his first lap. He's better than anyone else in the first sector. It's the rest of the lap where he falls off a bit. But this might be enough for 5th place, maybe. It is. Gets ahead of Veal and a Coke.
Yeah. Yeah, very good first sector.
And everyone's gone back to the pits.
Yomish is just out there tweaking. Was that half a... Wait, Leon improved. Half a second.
Wow.
A 41.2 compared to a 41.7 for P2.
Your pick is looking quite good. Now, your other picks, one...
They're long and they're long plays.
Yeah. Whereas Leon is...
Short play.
Short play, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like he might be able to get his... It would be his 4th win in 4 rounds. He got 1 win in the B format at Spa, 1 win in the B format at Donington, he won last time at Long Beach, and of course he's looking very good today as well. By the way, shout out to Apex Racing Academy. If you do want to get faster on iRacing, do make sure to check out apexracingac.com. They supply setups and data packs for all these GT3 cars that we have in this series, all 10 of them, as well as about 40 other cars as well, ranging from prototypes to single-seaters and even rallycross cars as well covered. So do check out apexracingac.com, get yourself a bronze, silver or gold subscription and get faster today.
Just a quick observation. The gap between 1st and 2nd is the same between 2nd and 12th.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, he looks pretty tricky to beat, and looks like his dominance might be similar to what we saw back at Long Beach. But let's go through the grid then for the final time this season. It is Leon Mishka on pole position, half a second clear. That's got to be the largest pole margin that we've had so far this season. Abithi in 2nd place, then it's Tortus. Ash with a great performance as a pro-am. He's on the 2nd row of the grid. Tabone, Veal, Kokok and Vis, the championship contenders in the pro-ams. Nurmi, Shepherd, Ola, Pindle in 12th, Brown, Eberstein and Bari. Ochapinti is top of the amateur drivers. He's ahead of Rinka. Then it's Schuttler, Sialfi, Livingston, Sebastian, Fowler, Kiefer, Britones, Herkenrath. And then the drivers who did not set times, Telman, Korshevin, Grieven and Meyer. All of those, bar Grieven, had a qualifying ban. Grieven could just not keep it within the white lines, however.
That floating Imola sign, what's that?
Have you not noticed that when you're driving around?
No.
It's always there.
No.
Yeah, that's whenever you drive. It's like, what was F1 doing a few years ago?
No, you're crazy. No,
You always drive onto it.
No, you
We'll get an on-board later on, and you'll see that
You're
MLS
messing
sign.
with me.
Anyone in chat wants to back me up.
No, you're messing with me.
But yeah, no, I think it's a good feature. It was added a couple of years ago to the system, but yeah, you must not notice.
No, I don't know what's happening. I think I'm losing my mind.
We've got a long formation lap here because it's not. It used to be one of the shortest formation laps, and it was a mess back then. Thank goodness we've got the longer one now, which lines us up just before Acromena Rally.
Yeah, so we're just waiting for one at the back. Not sure.
Yeah, Lucas Tillman unfortunately hasn't taken to the grid, which is a shame.
It is, because Korshevin and Talman at the back, that would be fire.
Yeah.
They had an epic batting at Hockenheim, yeah.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah, that was a great battle. That was one of the best battles of the season. So yeah, that's a good shout. I mean, starting from the pits, it depends where his pit stall is, I guess. If he's at the end of the pit lane, which he won't be.
I assume league rules dictate you have to come out behind everyone, though.
Yes. I think Lucas will... Yeah, I doubt... Yeah, I hope Lucas avoids that.
Do you remember... I think Watkins, Glenn and Imsa, if you started from the pits in GT3, you could come out like third.
Yeah. Interlagos as well, which is another big one, where you could just come out the pits and be midfield. Yes, that's why we don't do pit lane starts anymore. We used to, but qualifying bans are a bit more evenly matched Indianapolis, you'd lose about 20 seconds if you came out of the pit, so that was not good. So Mishka then, who has had only one pole position, I think, so far this season. I think his only pole was last time at Long Beach, but he looked pretty formidable on that occasion. Let's see how he controls the field. The green flag sometimes comes out pretty late round here, so they may be held for a while. Mishka can go pretty much whenever he wants, as long as it's before the start-finish line. And there he goes, and it's a very good launch. For our championship leader, it's a good launch as well for Howders, who taught us. He might be able to get past a B3. A B3 just trying to cover him up. I'm sure he'll go to the inside if he possibly can, and he does just about get clear. He's still leaving himself slightly vulnerable, but it looks like the top three are all going to be in the same order. Tabone trying to send it, and Tabone has sent it, and Tabone is up a place.
Okay, so Talman did start from the pits. He did come out behind everyone, and he is in draft, so he is still 29th.
Yeah, let's see what he can do from there. A little bit of gravel being picked up. I think that's Raymond Sheffers, who's Alexis Veal has had a very bad start. He's down 5 places so far, is Veal.
So Talman's down 3 net positions from 3 wide. That's not going to work. That was well read.
Wow.
Well read by Alexis Veal, even though he lost out.
Yeah, that was David Mola with the scent. But Mishka already 0.6 of a second clear of the rest of the field.
Yes, indeed. Not too many big shakers. Say Alexis Veal down 7's the biggest. It says Talman down 3, but he was basically last. One of the 3 last. He will have a pinch more fuel, right? Because he didn't have to do the out lap and the formation lap, and he started halfway down the straight, so...
Are you sure he's out on track, though, Lucas? I don't think he's gone out on track.
Oh, I see him light up, though. And well,
that's
he was.
true, actually. So as long as he's in his pit stall or something, just sat there. But yeah, I didn't see him out on track, but it might just be something with our overlay. Bretones in P21, he's up 3 places from his race start. Grieven's up 3, Myers up 3. But yeah, Alexis Veal with a big loser out, 7 places lost for the man who started in 6th place.
Yeah, he's looking good. He's got my backing, so he's in full send mode. He's got Livingstone ahead of him. But, well, if we take a look at the leaders of each class, Leon Miska obviously already at that 1 second lead. Daniel Ash looking strong. Down 1 position, but that's from Tabone, who's a pro. And in AMS, it's Dustin Rinker ahead of Vicente Ochipinti, who was leading, right? Yeah,
Rinker's taking that lead, so that's a good start for Dustin. We've got side-by-side here between Sheffers and Nurmi. And this is Sheffers managing to go the long way round. He'll have the inside for the next corner. And I think he's going to get this move done. That's a very good move there for Sheffers. Impulse won all the points they can possibly get. Oh, he's very slow on the exit, though. And he's left himself vulnerable. Again, trying to cover it off into Piratella. And getting feisty behind them as well is Pindle, trying to take advantage and get past Nurmi himself.
Yeah, that was never going to work for Nurmi, unfortunately. Nearly got it on the exit with a slightly better exit, but Sheffers knew what he was doing there. He had that covered off to get the inside line onto the left-hander up the hill. I know Nurmi looking strong. But yeah, Sheffers on the move. Obviously a poor qualifying, up 2. And now he's got the 3 Pro-Ams ahead of him. Robin, Whisker, Coke and Ash.
I've got some replays of earlier on, and this was the very strong start for Eutortus. I thought he was going to get clear, honestly, but that straight line speed for the Delachaz car enough to keep a B3 ahead.
No, I agree. It did look like Eutortus. I mean, maybe Eutortus just didn't want to inside dive and just wanted to tuck in, but yeah, it did look like he had an opportunity.
Pretty cautious from Ash, and that was how Tabone managed to get past. And then there was actually contact, so that's how Veal went off. There was contact between Veal and I think it was Coco, who was on the inside. I don't think it was really Coco's fault. I think it's just a pinch point through that 3rd part of Tamburello, and yeah, that was enough. And then there was the send from David Mola.
Yeah, that was a bit dangerous. Well, it could have gone very wrong. Oi! So that's what caused that. A little bit of net code, but it was a very late move. Yeah, Alexis Veal there with great awareness. I mean, it cost him many positions, but still alive.
So Eutortus has got past a B3 as well. He's up into 2nd place now, is Eutortus. So he wasn't able to get it done on the race start, but he has been able to get past since. And so it's now the Absolute Motorsport driver.
Yeah, something's happened because the gap is now 2.7 to Leon Mishka. Who again just, yeah, I mean, this is like Long Beach all over again, absolutely checking out. But yeah, something, we before the replays, we were at 1.1 seconds, so either Ubitsu had a moment or they battled a few corners. That brings Brandon Bone really into it now for that P2 battle.
Yeah, I think it was a mistake in Sector 2 on this lap, so I think it may have been a mistake at Villeneuve, which has relegated B3 down to 3rd place. Seems like Mishka is going to be in his own race today, but then that battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th, looking very competitive.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see Raymond Sheffers hunt down Whisker Kokanash. As long as he's got pace at Imola, he's looked very strong since the start. To ride on board with Brandon Tabone. Are you a fan of this track?
Really like it, yeah. Really, really like it. Yeah, like I said, I don't know why it has a flow, because it's all chicanes, but it really does have a nice flow.
Yeah.
Nice camber as well through each of the corners. I don't mind that it's not very raceable. I sort of like tricky to overtake circuits like this.
Yeah, as long as the track's tricky, like it is.
Awful host for F1. I'd drop it from the F1 calendar. I think it's a total waste of time to visit in Formula 1. But yeah, in order to drive in a GT car, very few better places. So this was the mistake then.
Oh,
Would you have got a slowdown from that?
I'm not on the second part, I don't think. I'm not sure. See, so no, I don't think so.
And your tortoise did well here not to get...
maybe from that angle.
Yeah, I mean, he was very slow. I know he was very slow sort of from the mistake, but he didn't seem to accelerate particularly quickly out of the chicane. It's a long queue of cars. This goes all the way back to last place, actually. Herkenrath is at the rear of this in 28th. At the front of this, we've got Alexei Bari in 17th. And yeah, everyone very, very close up behind.
Yeah, we've had this before. Big train. Very big train.
Bari might actually be pulling away a little bit from those other guys now watching it. CLP seems to be perhaps the head of the train. And here's Robin Meyer with that qualifying ban behind Korchevin, who also had a qualifying ban.
Yeah, two very fast guys. Just got to pick them off one at a time. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Salmon. Unfortunate.
Yes, if he's watching along, do let us know, Lucas. So what could have been season for him? Like I said before, he led most of the season.
Yeah, it was very strong.
Yeah, at one point he bought himself a pretty big margin, but it just went all wrong for him at Spa. And then he has not recovered. Mola a bit wide, and Eberstein has been able to get past. He's up to 13th. I think that was an overtake at least. Yeah, I believe it was. And Schuttler has got past Sialfi, but that is a change between the teammates, so perhaps a little bit choreographed there.
Yep, could very well be.
Looks like Sialfi's struggling quite a bit. I mean, he was dropping back from Bari quite quick, and now he's got that long train of cars stacked right up behind him. He is back to where he started, though.
Yep. Impressive run from Dustin Rinker at the moment. Looking strong, hanging on almost to Mola's draft. Not quite, only 1.3 away, but after this much time on the track, yeah, sitting P15, leading the AM. Looking very impressive.
And right now, none of my picks are right. All of my picks are P2, as it stands. You would be getting an extra point. It would be a 4-2 victory to David if it ends like this.
Absolute domination.
But if your tortoise can switch things around, then and if Coco can get the move down, he's only half second off the lead. Could all change quickly. Here's Tim Grieven, another driver who started from the back because he did not set a qualifying time. He's passing Korchevin. This could easily be a battle for P5 and P6, such as the quality of these two drivers. Instead, it's a battle for P25 and P26, and they're not really making progress. Everyone's got the draft on each other ahead, and these guys are really getting mired in the back end of the field, albeit Caution might have a bit of a run here at Sebastian.
Yeah, Sebastian just defended. The problem is, with this situation, I think Caution goes for, he has to also defend from Tim as well. Yeah, I mean, Daniel Sebastian is, I mean, fighting Caution this early in the race might not be the best strat, but let's see. 'Cause, I mean, he's going to get by. It is just a matter of when. You'd rather be on your terms so you don't lose the draft, is what I'm thinking.
Undercut's not going to be totally useful for these drivers, I think, today. This is a very high fuel consumption circuit, so the window in which they can pit is going to be fairly narrow, so probably about 25 minutes is the earliest they can come into the pits. Some circuits they'd be able to pit as early as 20 minutes. So they're not going to be able to get out of it too quickly. Here's the gap increase for Mishka, and yeah, you can see there he's pulling out a good sort of 4/10 a lap.
Yeah, this is Long Beach all over again, in a completely different dimension. Not just one lap pace, but consistency as well.
On the last lap, it was 6/10. Pretty crazy to think that he didn't win an A format race for the vast majority of the season. His first win in the A format was last time out, but he's really upped his game. Of course, we have, had Lacine and Viella, who were dominant back at Daytona. They've unfortunately retired from the season in these last few rounds. Obviously, Tellman's not around today. Those were sort of our top three at the start of the season. They were the three that we thought would battle for the championship. But Mishka was, slower, I'd say, than your Tortoise, maybe similar pace to a B3 and Taboni earlier in the season. And here he is in a different realm to them today.
Yeah, I mean, your Tortoise seems like a really well-rounded driver that can do everything. It's just doesn't have the one lap pace of the Talmans, the Lacines, and that sort of thing. But yeah, your Tortoise is a very strong driver. This isn't the first series we've had him in. Think back when he was battling all the Delatraz cars in... What series was that?
I think that would have been GT3 Trophy as well.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, he's also done a bit of Porsche Cup in the past, as he told us. Oh, here we go. Alongside Aqua Minerale, that could be... Could that be a slowdown? It will certainly be a 1x at least.
I'm not sure. I think it was just a 1x.
Now he's going to get ahead. That's very good late braking from the Cold Ice esports driver. Gets it stopped, so... managing to stop the flow there for Sebastian, but he's down to 25th place now.
But this is what I mean. Sebastian's angry right now. Hot tyres, out of draft. But it was just a case of when. He could have facilitated it. I'm not saying you shouldn't race. Of course you should race. But Korshvin was getting by. It was inevitable.
Brown gets past Pindle. That seemed very easy for him there. I wonder if, it looks like Pindle's got a slow down, and he
nearly got hit by his teammate.
A problem for his teammate behind.
Yeah. Yeah, he almost got absolutely ploughed by his teammate there.
Got some support for Pindle in chat from Kiao.
Yeah, he's looking good. I want to know where this Daniel Ash gets off being 3.8k.
Yeah. Yeah, the driver ahead of him 6.6, the driver behind him 4.8.
He's doing a really good job. These Cold Ice eSport guys have all settled in really well, looking very strong. They're a lot more consistent than they were at the start of the season. It is remarkable they all showed up in different cars though.
Yeah.
They could have worked together a little bit more in the sense of just helping each other out. But yeah, I mean, splitting the strat also works. Means you have no weak tracks. It's one good way to secure a team's champ.
Veal underneath Nurmi. And he's made up that position then. So that is a position recovery. Remember, of course, Veal went off at turn 3 on lap 1. Bell as low as, I think it was 13th place. But he's been able to get back up to P9. And Nurmi was an important move made there. He's now got 2 seconds to catch up to Sheffers. Meanwhile, I think Lenny Kuiper's just lost out to Dominic Korshvin. Korshvin's starting to make a bit more progress here as the drivers ahead start to fragment and the tow becomes less strong.
Korshvin's been flashed by every single driver so far. But yeah, he's got places to be and he's going to send it. And here comes Robin Mark.
Yeah, on Daniel Sebastian, he's going to lose another place here. it is such a stats field here. Like, it's reminding me of, because like Herkenrath is a very quality driver, and I think of myself as a quality driver, and yet in PEC GB this season, I have spent the entire season last, and like sometimes 0.2 of a second slower than everyone else. And yeah, you always need a few drivers in the series to, you know, regularly crash or just be rubbish, just to make everyone else feel a bit better. I would have certainly appreciated that, because my self-esteem's really taken a hit because of the season. And yeah, I feel a bit bad right now for Justin, because he's driven a good race so far and he's a quality driver. Only, you know, second and a bit off the pace from the leaders, and yet he's staying dead last.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, in your PEC GB example, you don't drive the car much, you don't practice, you don't have much experience. Need I go on? Yeah, so some of the boys you're racing, it's not about their skill level, or I think they've put in the 1,000 hours, and yeah, it's tricky. I've turned up to some leagues before, and it's easy for a 3K driver who's absolutely prepped and sweat, ready to, you know, match and beat me. And typically that I wouldn't find that happen in the officials, but yeah, if it's, yeah, you have to, if they bring it, it's hard. And yeah, PEC GB is all about bringing it.
Yeah.
So your 6 laps of practice.
No, usually I do about an hour and a half of practice, and I'm still rubbish. But yes.
It's a tricky car. Boris replying, we're all on different skill levels, so sometimes it's hard to work together, but we are working on this. Yeah, no, I completely understand. Completely understand. I have lots of teammates who wouldn't be seen dead driving a Porsche in their 5K or iRacing.
So Korchevin's got Fowler next, two fairly similarly liveried cars, even though they are different, and two fairly, yeah, look like cars. Well, that's a bit late. He's going to commit to it.
That's the third flash.
Yeah.
Oh, Fowler is not. Fowler's giving as much as he's getting from this.
Yeah, I mean, Russ needs to keep a cool head here. Oh, there's been contact. Did he squeeze him a bit too much on corner entry? And there is that contact, and it was Herkenrath, the last one to come across him, who has made contact.
Yeah, I mean, I need to see it from a better camera, but I hope he, that Cold Ice Esports guy, learns TC off next time. I think it was on Korchev.
Sure.
Yeah, it was a bit argy-bargy dory, but right at the last, he opened up the corner into the car. Yeah, real big shame. I don't think it was a terrible reach. I don't think he had any control over the car, so the poor Cold Ice Esports guy that got caught was, yeah, big shame.
Coke defending from Vist. Remember, Vist came into this round with a 22-point advantage. Right now, the gap would be down to 20 points. So
yeah, I mean, Vist shouldn't fight this, right? If Vist fights this, Coke can be like, okay, let's fight. If you die, I win the championship.
Yes.
Whereas Vist just follows Coke, he's won the championship.
True. Yes. Yeah, I think that's.
I mean, you wouldn't
right.
want to put yourself door to door. Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I was putting myself down earlier, but as the former champion, or the reigning champion of the BSR Radical Win Series Championship, I know what it's like in the final round of the season. And sometimes you don't care about the position, and even when the championship is pretty much in the bag, because obviously I was that good that season.
Yeah.
You still just want to, you know, finish the race. Sort of that feeling comes over you. Have you had that feeling when you won the championships? You sort of just want to finish the last round?
Yeah, I had a good experience like on this path in the Nord 24 when I was racing. You guys, you and Lewis there, and I thought about it's all about finishing, and you know, not just about one lap pace, and yeah. I mean, it was a shame to pass you guys upside down on fire, but you know, I wanted to finish. Yeah,
and finish you did. But yeah, I mean, it's all about picking your teammates, right?
Correct.
That's I think that's half the score when it comes to an endurance event, is not picking someone who's going to let you down, frankly.
You guys were cooking, though.
Oh, we were. That was a fun. Well, I say it was a fun race. I think I was complaining every minute of it, but yeah, what a track! What a track! Coke, yeah, holding on to that place. He's actually built up a little bit of a margin now. we go back to this battle with Andrew Brown, who got past Pindle a few laps ago, but he hasn't been able to pull away. I think Pindle got a slowdown at the final corner, maybe cut the final corner a little bit too much. You will be able to see the drivers take a lot of curb through there. And yeah, since that slowdown, he's not allowed Brown to get away. Behind them, they've got David Imola, who is down a couple of places. Mola, he was the one who sent the send at Tosa on lap 1, but it didn't really benefit him at all.
Maya's just got ahead of Korshevin.
Aha, that's a good move for Maya. Oh,
And-
Korshevin's maybe had an issue.
Well, he's battling Daniel Sebastian, and this is a big battle because Daniel is not a big fan.
No. Korshevin's enemies might catch up with him.
Yeah, yeah, look. That's Korshevin's biggest problem now. Everyone he bullied past. I mean, he did nothing wrong. I'm just saying. Korshevin.
Oh, he's done another bit of a squeeze. Oh, well, I think Dominic sort of needs to learn the width of his car, honestly, because that's the second time that's happened.
The Korshevin flick.
Yeah.
He flicks it a little bit into the other car when he's opening up the corner. I mean,
I think we all do a little bit, but you just gotta. That's the margin you got to build into it, and that was the send. Oh, so that was how he managed to get past Fowler on Korshevin, and then.
do we get that from a far chase? Like
That's so unlucky for. Well, maybe you could just. Well, I guess it wouldn't have even been a yellow flag, honestly. I think that was a squeeze from Korshevin. I don't think you can expect Fowler to do any more than what he did. He was right on the edge of the track.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, the only thing that'll be looked into was he's holding his brakes. That's it. But yeah, he was just a passenger.
So that's a move. Batona's losing a place, and that's Maya gaining one. So Maya's making good progress now. Coco has had. Oh, what's happened? What has happened to our other amateur Pro-Am driver? Vista's dropped back to 9th, and Coco has got past Ash. So what a change in the championship that is. Still, it's very much champion-elect Robin Vist, but Vist has lost 2 places, and Coco has gained 1.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened here. We've lost. Yeah, Vista's dropped a lot.
He's got a bit of damage on the front of that car. Maybe it's all right. Thought there was a bit of a dent, but
I'm trying to work out what could have possibly happened.
yeah, I'm not seeing. Oh, so he had a bad sector 4 on the last lap, so I think he probably messed up outer on the previous lap, and that's why he's lost a couple of places. Yeah, Ash had a decent gap over Coco as well, but he must have made a mistake as well.
So when do we have to start working out the math on positions versus Coco to Wist, 4th and 9th? I assume that's not enough.
That's not going to be enough, I think.
Because what's he need? 23?
Yeah, it's 22 or 23. It was 23 going into this round.
Okay.
And the points are, we're getting out our calculators here. So, P5 for Coco would be 102 points. P9 for Vist would be 86 points. So that's 16 points. So it'd be down to 7 points, the championship gap. So,
No.
yeah, so, or 16 points.
Yeah, 16 points. So one more would be 18, one more 20, 22, 24. Oh, he needs quite a few more positions.
Yeah.
What about if he gains, though? That's a 6. Okay. So 1 game, 1 loss would put him on 22.
I mean, it doesn't look like he's going to gain any places anytime soon with the gap ahead of him. He's got to rely on the 3 ahead to have some instance.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's doing all he can right now as Coco. I mean, is this the point now where you start backing up the field? I mean, I'm thinking of all the complex things that Frederick Coco could do. He could back up the field, try to get the likes of Nurmi and Brown and Pindle and Eberstein, and obviously...
You're saying Coco back up?
Yeah.
He's got Schiffers, Veal. The last thing he wants to do is let any of those rapid drive. I mean, Schiffers and Veal are really quick.
Sure. No, yeah, you are right. You are right.
No, I wasn't debating with you. I wasn't waiting for you to confirm my
No,
thoughts.
but it's you know, it's good to put in one perspective, right, and then it makes the other perspective seem more legitimate, right?
It does, yeah.
You know, we've assessed both viewpoints. Your Tortoise is holding on against her B3, but again, there's not really any overtakes going on. Of course, it was a mistake at this very corner for a B3 earlier on, which caused him to lose that place. And we are very much in the... Well, we're just about getting into the pit stop window now, so if someone wanted to come into the pits, they could get to the end from here. Valda and Herkenrath have already come into the pits, but that was more for repairs, I guess. Well, Herken, yeah, because they cannot get to the end of the race from the point that they pitted, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herkenrath actually had to tow earlier on. He got such big damage. Credit to him for getting back out there. He wants to finish the season.
Yep, credit indeed. Yeah, I mean, Tortoise is cooking right now. Sorry, I mean, Yubitsu. Sorry, the other way around. Sorry, yeah. But, I mean, Yubitsu's been rapid, and every season, every time we've covered him, he's always been quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Did he do prototype challenge, I think? Or the Aero Endurance, one of those.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, I think probably Endurance. I think just did field a team for that. By the way, of course, we have got the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup coming up soon. That will be starting in 2 weeks' time. So if you want to sign up for that, head over to apexracingleague.com. There are limited spots remaining. We are going to almost certainly fill out the grid. So if you do want to be on that grid, best to sign up by at least Sunday. It'll probably be Sunday or early next week that the field gets completely sold out. So do make sure to do that. And of course, we've also got our Apex Racing League Touring Car Brits in 2025. That's starting on Thursday. We've got Sheffers off the track though, so he's had an issue.
Big issue.
And that is good news for Robin Vist.
Very good news. Yeah, very good news.
And that's bad news for Impulse for their team's championship as well.
Yeah, I wonder what's happened there. I'm trying to think who was battling at the time. Alexi Veal, was it?
Yeah, I think you're right. He was ahead of Vist, wasn't he? Oh, I'm going to have to get the... I mean, you think that figuring out the Drivers' Championship is bad enough. Figuring out the Teams' Championship is going to be an absolute mess.
That's quite tight as well at the top, isn't it?
It is.
Impulse and the other one.
Yeah, Absolute.
Absolutely, yep.
So yeah, where are the absolute drivers? So we've got your Tortoise up there in second place and Coco Cup in 5th. So I think if it ended like this, that might have just switched the championship round because they were almost level on points going into this round. It was just the 8 points between the two teams. So right now, I believe it would be Absolute who would take the advantage there. But again, I'll need to get out the calculators to confirm. And that's just because, of course, Tim Grieven didn't set a qualifying time. So he could have been the backup for Impulse with Sheffers making that mistake, but he's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's this, Meyer and Livingstone? Oi, and Korshevin. Korshevin is in an if gap mood.
It's up to 21st.
Livingstone with a cam. Yeah, he's boxing really early. Let's hope I don't know where you come out. It's not bad. I'm just hoping he doesn't come out in a bunch of rapid traffic that he has to let through.
Yeah, I think he should be all right there, just halfway around the lap as is, so about 50 seconds away from catching up to him. So as long as it's a reasonable pit stop here.
Whoa.
Ooh. I wonder, it looked like Veal was quite far away from the apex there. Nah, he's fine. He's fine. That's not Veal's fault. You agree? Maybe.
It's a bit late. I don't know. It's hard from that camera angle. It was late. Yeah, not the nicest of contact models we've had so far witnessed in this race. It's almost like every touch has been caused a big reaction.
Yeah.
It's a cool setup from Manuel. So I'm deciding if that's all noise cancelling. It looks quite bumpy in the background at the top, so I'm assuming that's all noise cancelling all the way along the right hand side and all the way along the back. which is pretty cool because it also blacks out behind your screen, which is such a nice feeling.
Sure, yeah.
That's what I've always done. That's like, yeah, it just helps you just stay focused. And Brandon Tabone, P4, letting the 2 in front overdrive a bit. Hopefully he's good at fuel saving, so hopefully he can make something work. It's tough. Obviously, Bitsu and Tortoise aren't exactly amateurs when it comes to this.
Yeah, B3 may be in a good position here with the fuel saving. If he has saved a couple of liters, might be able to go the extra lap, which might keep him out of traffic and might be able to have a slightly shorter pit stop. Tabone's been a little bit too far back to really get any benefit of the draft so far, but he was faster than the 2 ahead of him on the last lap. It was a personal best lap for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the easiest track to save at. It's lots of curb sends. Throttle raises the nose, which gives you a little bit more front ride height to ride the curbs a bit better. So it's, yeah, it's just not the easiest. Obviously, we are going to see off-tracks play a role in this race. It will determine some people's races. An hour on 20X it's not easy. Not easy at all. I'd say our average between 9 and 10 in a 40-minute race.
Sure. Into the pits comes Tabone. So going for something a little bit different here. Maybe wanting to even out the strategy, or even out the stint, so he gets the fresh tyres sooner, perhaps. But I think they'll only be taking 2 tyres. They won't be taking all 4. Otherwise, you'd be held in the pit stall for a bit of extra time.
Correct. Yeah. Not sure he's been saving all that much.
Epstein's got a run here at Brown. He's been behind Brown for a while. You really see that forward fairly tricky to overtake.
And switch back. Beautiful. As long as no one... Oh, he broke really early. He's going to be boxed out. Yeah. He may get the run on the outside. He does. Okay, lovely, lovely done. Just broke a little early. And Wist... Is that Wist in the background? Or is it the... Is it...
It's Mola.
Mola, yeah. Sorry.
Gritting his teeth behind the Mustang.
Yeah, nice. Okay, Sheffers, Sialfi, Cleffer, Daniel Sebastian, and are all into the pits. And Manuel Pundi was into the pits as well. He's coming out now. All pretty good pit stops, apart from Manuel, the Cold Icy Sports Yellow driver. About 2 seconds longer than everyone so far in the pits, so I suspect just over-fueled a lap. Or missed his box. Because, yeah, 21.9, 21 flat, 22.1, 21.7, 20.5, and then, yeah, Manuel Piende 23.8, which is, yeah, that's significant. You're going to feel that when you come out the pits.
I managed to get past Korshevin earlier on, but it looks like he's going to lose the position again here. No, Korshevin doing the wise thing after such an awkward corner when it comes to overtaking there. As Abitu is in and Kokok is in as well. So actually your Tortoise was able to go the extra lap despite having to punch a hole in the air for the whole stint pretty much. He was the one who seemingly at least saved more fuel than Abitu, or maybe this is maybe a choice from Abitu. He wants to get some new rears, new left sides, new right sides, sorry.
No, new lefts, I imagine.
But it's an anti-clockwise circuit, so you'd want rights, right?
True. True, true, true. I'll keep eye on the pit stop times. Bithu, good pit stop time. Kokok, not good. Not good. He's going to be dropped. Is Frederick Kokok, unfortunately, after that good spell. But his pit stop was 2 seconds longer than Nurmi. He's going to drop behind Nurmi, let alone everyone else.
Yeah, that's incredible that he's behind Nurmi. And here comes Veal as well, past the pair of them. So that's worked terribly for Frederick Kokok. And that will feel tough because he had worked hard to get that place. Of course, he wasn't fuel saving for most of that stint. He was sort of punching a hole in the air as well and having to try to pull away from those guys whilst they were fuel saving. And yeah, I mean, he's lost 2 places guaranteed. It might turn into 3 or 4 places lost. Yeah,
Oshapinti with a pretty slow stop as well, 23.5. But in the AMs, that's only, the deviation's a lot less. That's only, yeah, 7/10. Whereas in the pros, you do that sort of thing like we saw with Frederick Kokok, and that's 2 seconds, you know, so it's Yeah, it's tough at the top.
So Mishka in and your Tortoise in, and it seems like everyone else is going to come into the pits. This is as far as the tank can go, which is pretty crazy. Again, I don't know why they use so much fuel around this circuit, but yeah, it's just a very high fuel consumption track, this. Maybe a lot of stopping and starting, and Vist, the one driver who's able to go the extra lap.
I had a certain red line driver behind me at Road Atlanta. He had slight damage, couldn't get any straight line speed, so I was holding him back in Imola, long race, and I was thinking, I've got this. Like, this is actually done. And then he was 2.8 seconds quicker than me in the pits, and then I couldn't get by because he defended like a lion.
Sure.
So, yeah.
So Mishka getting his pit stop done. He won't lead every single lap today. Here is your Tortoise. He is overtaken by Abithu.
Abithu with a really good pit stop.
So Abithu has been able to jump your Tortoise there by pitting the lap earlier, and that will turn into second place for him.
Korshevin with the fastest pit stop on the track, though, a 19.8. To put that in perspective, that's up to 3 seconds quicker than quite a few people out there.
And he's jumped Maya in the pit stop because of it. He may have jumped Occhipinti as well. It'll be close between them on the pit exit. There is Occhipinti. Yeah. Straight away goes to the inside. And there's contact. Occhipinti is round. And my bid at winning the Picks Championship, I think, is completely over. I'm not sure whose fault that was. It was an aggressive move from Korshevin straight away to go to the inside.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that in the replay. I mean, Korshevin's been in three major accidents now. The chances of none of them being him are getting lower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robin Wist is finally pitting.
Yeah, let's see if this works out for him. Will he be ahead of all these drivers? That's what he'll be aiming for, that he'll be ahead of Daniel Ash.
Yeah, no, his pit stop on time would need to be low 20s. Like, I need to see like a 20.2, 20.3.
Well, we've seen a 19.8 from Korshevin, so with Wist going the extra lap, I think it will probably be in the 19s.
Robin Wist, 20.7.
Okay.
It's okay.
Not as good as what I thought.
It's on the good part of the average.
So this will be really, really close. Grieven's also in the pits, but here comes this train of cars.
Where is he?
And he is going to be behind all of them, I think. Oh, it might be close between him and Coke, but Coke is just about ahead. That's good for Absolute, of course. You need all the points they can get for their team's championship.
So they're connected again due to a bad pit stop from the Coke, and yeah, good first stint from Robin Wist, recovering from that. What was it? He lost 4 positions, I think. Oh, Grieven. Okay, so Grieven pitted for 18.8 seconds. He must know something else. Because, yeah, like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me, because if he was going to fuel save that hard and not gain, you'd want to jump loads of positions, and he hasn't. So he's 22nd. Like, yeah, I'm not sure what the strat was, or it's a mistake.
Here was the contact then. Korshevin on the insides. The contact came so early, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's too difficult from that angle. Here we go. Korshevin didn't do. Right. Yeah, Korshevin didn't do anything wrong. Yeah.
You think it's safe to move across like that when you're going quite slow speed, to move from one side of the track to the other?
Well, he picked the inside line. He showed he was on the inside line, and he took the inside line and didn't deviate. So it is awkward to call, but I think he's okay. Like, yeah, I mean, he got driven into essentially, and you know, I was very anti-Korshevin a few minutes ago. So yeah, I think Korshevin didn't do a lot on there. He was predictable, and that's what you can hope when someone's going slow.
Ash and Veal are very close to one another in the battle for P5. This would be the comeback complete for Veal, and I think he has completed the comeback now. He's up to P5, and not a whole lot of defence being put up by
Yeah,
Daniel
stellar
Ash.
drive since that knock. He no fault of his own. He got pushed off the track at the beginning. Good first stint, very good pit stop. He's doing everything right. Brilliant overtakes. Well, they're brilliant because they're not showing up on our screen, because they're just clean, clinical. Nurmi. Whoa, backed out. Nurmi is really cooking in this second half.
Yeah, he's got part of his car alongside here, not quite. Outside line, Zuju very good into Piratella anyway. But yeah, he has just got quicker and quicker, hasn't he? And it was a very good pit stop for him, which got him ahead of Coco.
Yeah, I've raced Nermi a lot. He is quick. There's no doubt about it. We raced, beat me at Sebring in GT4s, and then we raced at Fuji in the rain, and I won the race, but he had the faster pace. Just my strategy was absolutely flawless.
Sure.
That's the only difference, yeah. It all worked out for me. Nermi looking really good here.
I'm making a spreadsheet at the moment to figure out what is going on with these points.
Can I have barbecue sauce on my pizza? Oh, you're doing points. Oh, I thought you were doing pizza.
Yeah, well, no, that's later on, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say. And some garlic peppers.
So, Impulse came into this round 13:24.
So Liam Mishka almost a 10-second lead, and if we factor in Abithu had a really good pit stop, a 20.5, whereas Liam Mishka probably couldn't care less about his pit stop time, 21.3, which is good, above average. Fastest lap of the race, pole position, no mistakes, utter domination. We had this at Long Beach, same situation. So Frederick Koch, I mean, even if he had completely nailed the pit stop, I think he would probably now be behind Veal. So only two positions to the good. Cause I suppose he was ahead of Daniel Ash as well. So yeah, 2 positions to the good. But Robin Wister's worked his way back through, and very strong as well. And he's got David Muller behind him, so he can control this race. I think Wister's done everything he needs to do to win the Pro-Am Championship.
Yeah, he's been really consistent, particularly the second half of the season, has Wist.
And what happened in Am? Ocha Pinti had a 23.5 pit stop, 2 seconds slower. Antoni Bretones is ahead of him.
Well, he had the
Livingstone.
spin. He had the collision with Korshman.
Ah, that was it.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah, he's lost out to Livingstone. Obviously, Dustin Rinke. It's looking really good. I don't think Am can change positions, can it, in the championship?
It would be like an overall podium, I think, for someone else in order to have that points change. As Nermi looks like he's going to get past Asher.
Yep, nice tight line, shorten it, open it up, very nicely done.
So Asher's chances are certainly a top 5, maybe going up in smoke there, and we'll have to look behind him.
It's amazing how it's settled down now. Top 6 are all pros, 7 to 11 all Pro-Ams.
Korshman has got past Bari as well. I feel like they've changed. Oh no, yeah, of course they're teammates, aren't they? Yeah. So that makes sense.
How far Lucas Talman's fallen? He's 24 laps down.
Yeah.
Really,
I'm not going to criticise his pace, but could do better. It's not his best performance. Still figuring out these points. Where's the second? So the second Impulse car is currently Raymond Sheffers. He's having a miserable time of it because he had the spin earlier on in the race. So he's down to 14th place. But I still think it's looking good for Impulse as it stands, because even with the 74 points that he's getting, yeah, Impulse are still leading Absolute in the championship. But maybe if Coco could get a P5 somehow. And part of the problem for Absolute is that, of course, Utortsa's lost that P2 to Abithu, and that cost them 10 points right there. So, yeah, it's not looking good right now for Absolute. It looks like Impulse, who we really expected to win the Teams Championship going into today, are going to be able to clinch it, despite Sheffers and Grievance. Very, very bad days.
If Utortsa's was second, how many points are they behind? If he was second?
So even if he got second, he'd still be behind. It's currently 16 points the gap. If Utortas can get second, that will bring it down to 6 points. But there was, 15 minutes ago, when Coco was up in 5th and Utortas was up in 2nd, they did have the lead. But both of their cars have fallen by the wayside since.
Yeah. I mean, Abithu's been cooking, and
Livingston, slow down.
yeah, he's lost out to Grieven.
Oh, Grieven's taken a lot of curve there, and Livingston fortunately knows where the front of his Ford Mustang is. So Grieven up to 21st now. For those who aren't aware, maybe I should have explained it a little bit earlier on, but for these, the different teams have either 2 or 3 drivers in their squads, but in each round, it's only your 2 highest scoring drivers who score points. So we've had plenty of champions who have only had 2 drivers, but it's useful to have the third, so that if one of your front 2 have a bad round, the third can take up the slack. Of course, for Impulse today, Mishka's been absolutely brilliant, but Shepard's had a spin, and Grieven has had couldn't get a quali lap in. So that is why, yeah, they're struggling a little bit, but yeah, those big points for the race win are enough for them as it stands.
But yeah, as this isn't Fortnite, by squad you mean team.
Did I say squad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're playing too much Apex Legends, mate. Look at this guy. I mean, wasn't it? Didn't I say 9.9 seconds? Now it's 11.5.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, he's doing, I think I said this last week, doing Max Verstappen-esque things. Look at that. Yeah, 9.7 to 11.3 in 3.5 laps.
We thought the 12-second margin he had back at Long Beach was a lot. It's going to demolish that.
Yep.
And of course, yeah, like I said, it looks good for Impulse in the championship. Of course, they would have leaned on
Nope.
Mishka quite a bit this season in order to get the points that they needed.
Leaned on. No, it doesn't work.
Leoned.
No. You're reaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what Cocotte can do here. Can probably get Ash. I just don't see how a path to the championship though. I mean,
Yeah.
he knows he has to get points, and if something happens to Wist, goes backwards, then. But it's a huge ask. I think his only strat's got to be try and spin Ash in such a way that he takes out Wist. That's it. That's all I can think of.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen crazier things in my time. But yeah, he's needs to put a few cars between him and his rival. Corby now getting past Rinka, but Rinka's still leading in the amateurs. Of course, Cold Ice had a few more drivers in the amateurs at the start of the season, but 2 of their drivers got promoted to the... I say promoted, got changed. I don't particularly like using the word promoted. It seems a bit derogatory towards the amateur drivers. But yeah, they got changed to the Pro-Ams earlier this season. I don't think it would have necessarily made a difference because Ochapinti's been so strong. Here comes Shepherds, and that's an extra point for Impulse as well, so that's useful for them. He's managed to clear Pinedale right there. He was one of the ones who I think started as an amateur this season, but changed to the Pro-Ams.
Yeah, looking really strong. What was I going to mention? I cannot remember. Still lots of packs out there. Does make for some good racing. Michael Epstein's following David Muller really closely. Oh, yeah, it's on screen now. I'm staring at the data. Yeah, oh, no, what I was going to say. Dustin Rinker it almost looked like he was warned about Korshevin. When Korshevin comes up, just give him room. Let him by. Do not share the apex.
Cocotte has got past Ash, by the way. So Cocotte is now leader of the Pro-Ams.
Yeah, looking strong.
So he's gained a couple of points there. So the gap's come down by 1 point, I think, in the last 30 seconds because both Impulse and Absolute have gained a place. But yeah, still a big enough margin for Impulse comfortably. Is Mola going to be sent here by Bastine? Not quite.
Alan in chat saying, looks like Miska's got a cold beer waiting. He is driving...
He's got some champagne waiting.
Yeah, I mean, the way he's cooking, though. Absolute domination. I mean, like I said, in the qualifying, the gap between 1 and 2 was the same between 2 and 12. That's unheard of.
Oh.
So this is
contact there.
Cocotte defending from Daniel Ash.
Yeah, it's left Ash vulnerable. That seemed I know it was still called to stop from that angle, but it did seem a bit risky there. Again, it's just such a narrow circuit, this, and it is so tricky to judge where the edge of your car is. And I've seen a few drivers being squeezed out. Here comes the opportunity for Vist, and it really looks like Daniel Ash is just going one direction at the moment. He started up in P4.
But if anything happens to Vist, it's Koko's championship.
True.
Oh, Daniel Ash is braking late. Backed out though.
Oh, he's done well there as Ash to just open up the steering a little bit.
Yeah, I think
Otherwise,
if that was Formula One, no, you'd have to give that back.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, had Ash stayed on track, could have been contacts, could have speared him off into the wall, and we would have been calling a different Dutch driver the Pro-Am champion for this season.
Oh, Robin cheating with a slowdown there. That would look close. Yeah, the lap times Leon Mishka's putting in is ridiculous. Last lap 41.9, whereas mid to low 42s is what's happening out there. Tim Grieven, is this Xiaofi and Tim Grieven? Not a lot he's going to be able to do, surely. He is in a cold ice box. Been a good team. I've enjoyed watching the cold ice guys. Had some bad luck a few rounds. Started the season with a little bit less, I'd say, experience, it seemed, but everything seems to have gone more and more their way as the season's gone on.
Yeah, and all their drivers have pretty much stuck to the series, so hopefully they'll be back next season, because we always get questions when it comes to the next season of various championships. But yeah, there's certainly nothing in the calendar, at least for GC3 Trophy, but it'll definitely be back before the end of the year. Always a very popular one. I think it's been about 6 consecutive seasons that we've had a 60-car grid, Grieven all over the curb, and he'll lose a couple of places.
Yeah, I mean, from what I'm seeing on Grieven, it wasn't that he didn't get the lap. I don't think he has the lap. And we usually don't say that because he's a very fast driver, but it just doesn't look like Imola's for him.
No. Maybe overheats those tyres a little bit as well. Got a bit of dirt on them, sliding about through Villeneuve. Would you agree with me that outer should be removed from this circuit?
Which one's outer?
This one. This chicane. Do you think the track would be better if we just had a straight?
A straight all the way?
Well, yeah, just go straight through it.
I don't mind it. I'd take the off tracks. No, I don't mind it.
But don't you think it would be much easier to overtake into with Atsa? Took it away.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm a traditionalist, as you know. I see the layout one way, and I struggle to change it in my head.
I'm very much a tinker. Maybe slow down.
Yeah, I think if he was letting him by, Michael let him through, but I'm not sure. It was abrupt. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, no, if you get a slowdown on the second to last corner, that left-hander, it's brutal to serve on the straight. It requires a little bit more than just a sharp lift.
So behind these guys are Sheffers, and Sheffers needs to make sure that he gets through this one cleanly, because a crash for him would change the orientation of the team's championship.
Orientation? Someone...
yeah, I don't know if that's even the right word in that context, but I sort of went with it. Now you've questioned it. The outcome?
Outcome is definitely correct.
Yeah. Here is Alexi Barr, your pick for the Pro-Am win. It's not looking good for him. Of course, my pick for the Pro-Ams is leading at the moment, but your pick for the Pros is unfortunately leading.
Which is enough to secure the championship for myself.
Yeah, Occhipinti is not going to make up the 20-odd seconds he needs on Rinka. That was the one as well, of all mine. I mean, Occhipinti's won the last 3 races. And looked all right in qualifying, P2 in the AMs in qualifying. But, yeah, had, frankly, a spin which was his fault. Collided with this man's teammate, Dominic Korscheman.
Oh, Alexi Barry disappeared for a moment there, but he is back. Yeah, Alexiville with a good recovery. Doesn't look like he can go any further. The gap in front is insurmountable, I think. Nurmi with a really surprising race, up 3 against really strong drivers and holding strong. Brilliant battle between Frederick Koch and Wist and Ash. Those 3 have really put on a good race for us today. Brown just seems a little off it today. Didn't get the qualifying either. Obviously, Robbie Mears ahead of Alexi Bari, who was struggling a little bit.
Yeah, so Mir, he's up on the back. He's got one more place. Could he get... So he can maybe get Rinka. So Korshavin and Meyer, the 2 drivers who had the quali bans, managed to get up to 16th and 15th and 17th, which frankly is a lot lower than I thought they would do. Both of those drivers, certainly Korshavin, sort of a top 5 level driver very often. But it just shows the difficulty of overtaking. They lost a lot of time in the early stages where they were making maybe 1 overtake every 5 laps or so.
Yep, indeed. So Absolute don't have a 3rd driver, no. Yeah, that's hurting, isn't it, for this race? Well, there was only 2 actually. There was only 2 Absolute drivers in this series.
I can have a look.
I'm trying to remember.
There was another one, the 206. Hang on, there's another Absolute driver out here today, is there?
No, 206 is Koch.
Oh, okay. So, yep. Well, I can have a search. Who the missing driver is? Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to get anything for it because, yeah, 2nd place in the championship. They'll get a team subscription though to Apex Racing Academy, which is pretty neat.
Yep.
For a month, I believe. Thanks to Apex Racing Academy, of course, for offering those prizes. The top drivers in the series get some free subscriptions. The driver champions, I think, get a year-long subscription, which is worth a fair amount of money. Oh, contacts.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And
I'm not sure what the Ford was doing, to be honest.
well, was Rinka moving in the braking zone? Is that the argument, that he didn't commit to the left or the right?
From what I saw, I don't think so. He's trying to serve it in front of him because he caused it. I'd need to see from far chase. Why would you leave the inside gap open? Oh, okay, he hasn't. It's really hard to see from all these camera angles. Really hard. Okay, Leo Mishka with almost a 14-second lead now. Utortus almost 2 seconds behind. Brandon Tabone around 4.5 seconds off. Lexi Veal, a big gap, but he had to make a big comeback. And Nurmi's catching Veal. I say that and he drops out of draft, so I cursed that one. Daniel Ash still on the back of Robin Wist. Wist has dropped back a little bit from Frederick Koch, but yeah, this battle for them 3 has been brilliant. It's been upset. Okay, every single one of them have had the lead in this race at some point for a good amount of time. I think Wist had it at the beginning, Daniel Ash had it for a very long time, and then Koch took over. It's all been topsy-turvy.
The extra Absolute driver, by the way, earlier this season, was Marco Massetti.
I don't remember the name.
I think he did quite well in the first couple of rounds, but unfortunately we haven't seen him too much this season. So yeah, they have been at a bit of a disadvantage. Impulse, meanwhile, have had the 3 drivers, and that really helped them at races like Donington, where Grieven was able to get a race win on that occasion, as well as Mishka.
Grieven with an alternate line, I want to say. I mean, you build up KPH for start of quali, but if you sacrifice the line to get KPH...
Oh, yeah, you want the shortest line.
Yeah, you're net down. So I think there might be some confusion there. I mean, if you're going to try for best lap next lap...
Oh, I think the car had moved a bit there.
Well,
I can forgive.
Really?
So he's gone to the outside here.
Yep. 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 Good spot.
It is a weird one, though.
Yeah,
because
but
it's a curved straight.
Still, yeah, you're right. Moving under braking. You are correct. Well spotted.
So Brown desperately holding on. He's pulled off a couple of moves so far today of Brown, but the 2 that I've seen have both been because of slowdowns. But the drivers, that's going to be very tight into Ravazza, and Chef is going to take advantage. That's another couple of points for Impulse. and he might have a good shot here, but look at the exit that Brown has got, and he might be coming back. Is that even a slowdown for Shepherds? He's got no acceleration whatsoever, and here comes Pinedale to try to take advantage as they move on to the white flag.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is going to be a tasty finish. That was quite...
Oh, they're all right. Sorry.
That was quite the send from... was that Michael?
Yeah, Epstein.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There wasn't... The guy was breaking on the defensive line, and he just sort of muscled through on that line. I'm not sure. Again, very hard from a TV cam, though.
But out in the leads, Leon Mishka's got just a few more corners to go before he is going to put a absolute final on this championship. He needs to complete this final corner because credit to How Does He Talk says he's pushed him all the way. But it looks like we're going to see a new champion in Apex Racing League. And our Pro Drivers Championship for Season 9 of the GT3 Trophy is Leon Mishka. And he is delighted. That is fantastic to see. It was an easy victory for him, 14 seconds. But he was clearly on edge all the way. And he knew better than anyone else. He had to finish that last lap, and he has done. A B2 with a strong P2. You taught us will be second best. It's not going to be a first Pro Championship for him. And Frederick Kokok, he's going to get some good points in his Pro-Am Championship, but it is going to be the man behind him who might actually lose a place on the line here, Vist. I'm not sure if he's run out of fuel, but either way, it's plenty enough points for Robin Vist to be able to take that 9th position and the Pro-Am Championship as well. Congratulations to the Dutch driver. Rinke is going to do everything he can possibly do in order to hold on to this 16th place ahead of Meyer. He's got a very good run at him. Here comes Meyer. We didn't think we'd have a change for the position, but there we go.
I don't know. Was that enough? He needed to move?
Meyer did just get it. At least according to our screen, he did get Rinke on the line. But yeah, he almost seemed to lose a little bit of speed right at the end. Behind them, though, Ochapinti is going to cross the line, and that will be enough for Ochapinti to win the Amateur Championship, so he manages to seal that one. And by our calculations as well, Impulse Racing, with that win for Leon Mishka, have been able to win in the Teams Championship as well. All of those titles going down to those, frankly, final few laps. You don't know what's going to happen in the final few laps. It's very possible you could lose 20 places, and Leon deservedly pulling some donuts to end the season.
Did Michael Epstein lose some positions at the end there? Did he run out of fuel? I'm not sure. Or was it... Yeah, Michael Epstein's last sector was 10 seconds slower. Yep.
So yeah, he must have lost, what, 3, maybe even 4 places?
I'm not sure. I could have sworn I saw him drop.
Because he got past Brown, right? On the lap before.
Yep. So he's lost...
He's lost 4 places, lost out to Brown, Pinedale,
the last sector,
and Courchevel.
Alan in chat was asking to who's going to be close on fuel, and that answers that.
Yeah, it was an odd one as well because he put in a decent amount of fuel. He put in 2 more seconds than some other drivers did. It was one of the longer pit stops. But it was not enough for Michael. He could have done with 1 extra litre in that car. Well, let's have a look then at the final results. Mishka winning out the season finale ahead of a B3. I think it's the biggest winning margin of the season. I think the biggest one before that was last week, again by Mishka. But a good way for a B3 to end the season. Yatortus will be runner-up in the Pro Championship. Kokok won in the Prams, but Ash wins the title on that front. And Rinke won in the Amateurs. But... despite being one of his weaker rounds, frankly, across the season, Ochapinti, still absolutely solid, getting some decent points. And the 2.2k driver managing to win in the Amateurs, which is very impressive. Of course, it is our lowest I-rated category, but 2.2k is pretty low for the Amateurs. He was not our pick at the start of the season, but credit to Vincenzo. He's driven a good championship. Yeah,
very impressive. Good stuff.
We should get an interview with a couple of our drivers, and I think straight away we are going to have a chat with Leon Mishka, who joins us now. Leon, congratulations. We saw your webcam at the end of the race there, and it looked like you were absolutely very, very pleased to take the title and the win today. How does it feel?
Yeah, first of all, congrats to the podium and to Harolda's
we can't hear.
P3 in the championship. PP2 in the championship, sorry. Yeah, it was quite relieving, especially when I saw my quali lap, and then especially in the beginning of the race. It felt like a stone falling off my heart, and yeah, it was nice to drive the last round in the championship, and yeah, I kept it running and took the win.
Okay, so yeah, sorry, we couldn't quite hear you there, Leon, but I think the broadcast could hear you, fortunately, on that one. But yes, really fantastic championship from yourself. I mean, when you look back at the season, of course, at the start of the championship, you were competitive, but these last couple of rounds have been just another level. I mean, what have you been able to change in your driving, which has enabled you to go up that extra level?
Yeah, it's quite yeah, stressful season it was, like in the beginning with Telman, especially in Suzuka. Daytona I didn't train much, so this was my best to get P4, and then in Suzuka there was like the chance to get the first win, and I bottled it in the first stint. So yeah, it was like relieving. Then the win in Road Atlanta in the race 2. Hockenheim, unfortunately, I crashed out in the first lap, which I don't know which the race could brought to me. And then Spa was another level in race 2. Donington was race 1 win. Unfortunately, in the race 2 there was an incident where I picked my only and first penalty points. But yeah, and then the last 2 rounds I just trained and just wanted to get this title. And yeah, I'm standing here now with a win.
And before we say goodbye to you, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, to my team and to my family, and happy birthday, Mom.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Leon. And yeah, hope to see you back on the channel very soon.
Yeah, see you guys. Thanks for commentating.
Leon Mishka there, our championship winner. Who would you like to have a chat with?
Well, I'm trying to wing some audio.
Bit of an awkward thing for us. Oh, actually, we may have been able to get the sounds back. Although, actually, I think I'm just listening to you. And actually, I think we do have the sound back now.
Yeah, we have sound back.
This is good.
Now.
So, unfortunately, I can listen to Leon's responses there, but I'm sure they were very insightful.
Yeah, what a shame.
Life-changing.
I was pulling up every app I could to try and read what he was saying. Let's talk to Robin Wist.
I understand.
Hello, Robin. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. First of all, congratulations on the Pro-Am Championship. I mean, it needs confirming from someone who can do math better than I, but it's looking very good. Looked like a really fun race. Yourself, Coco, Daniel Ash. Was you just out there enjoying yourself, or was you trying to not get tangled up? Because obviously, all you must have known all you had to do was follow Coco and Frederick, and the championship was yours. But yeah, talk me through it.
Yeah, I mean, I started off really nervous, to be fair. I knew all I had to do was just not mess up. And I was stuck behind Frederick for a while, and then some places got shuffled around, and then I messed up my pit stop. I overshot my box. I think Frederick also messed up, so I ended up behind him, and then from there it was pretty boring, actually. I just had to bring it home.
Sure. Yeah, I think, Frederick did have a slow pit. I didn't see what happened in yours, but obviously that makes sense. Was it tough, hour at Imola? Was you managing off tracks? Obviously, there's a lot of cars on track, lots of mistakes, lots of slowdowns. How was it out there?
It was fine, actually. Got a little bit close with my off tracks. Otherwise, no slowdowns. I didn't get tangled up in anything. I managed to avoid the kerfuffles. So overall, pretty enjoyable race.
Oh, that's excellent. Going into the season, did you have yourself a chance for winning the championship?
Oh, not at all, man. I did not expect to be here.
That's awesome. So I think under rules, Sam states that's the promotion to pro. How's it work?
Yeah. You'll definitely be pro next season, Robin. So, I mean, do you think you'll have a how good a chance do you think you'd have at winning the pro championship? I know that it's a big step, but we've seen you improve this season. Do you think it's attainable within a couple of seasons?
I'm just happy to be there. I'll do what I can, but I don't expect to be fighting for the top spots anytime soon. But we'll see.
That's awesome. Just keep working out. Any takeaways from the season, like your favorite race or favorite performance or favorite moment?
I really liked Daytona, actually. Working together with David in the draft was fun, and we ended up getting a good result. Got a little bit lucky, but we'll take those.
Yeah, you make your own luck. I think you've had a really solid season. You've looked really strong, and it's been a great battle to watch in the Pro-Ams. It's been really close and very hard to predict. So again, yeah, congratulations. It's been a long season, so winning it in your division shows some real class. So yeah. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout-out to?
My teammate David, of course, and the rest of the ATRT gang who are watching probably. So, hi, guys.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Yeah, again, congrats, and I hope to see you back for next season.
Thank you.
Cheers. Congrats.
We'll have one more interview, and that interview will be with Simon Andre Livingston, who joins us now. And Simon, just looking back at your results this season, pretty remarkable that I don't think you've won like an overall meeting. You may have won like a B format race 1 or 2 perhaps in the amateurs, but incredible consistency. I mean, you look at these past few results: 56, 51, 58, 51, 65, 58. So how do you feel about this season, getting the runners-up spot?
I think that's just what it turned into in the end. I was hoping for a championship run, tried to get most of it, but things started bad at Daytona, and then after that I kind of like didn't go too much. I didn't practice, so it's all on myself. But Vincenzo, hard name to pronounce, he was super fast. So in the end, I kind of turned my head around to focus on just P2 championship battle, because that was tight in the end. I had to dig deep to keep Antonio behind me.
Yeah, Antonio has some really good results in the second half of the championship. When you look back at the season, is there any rounds that you're gonna look back fondly on?
Yeah, I think Road Atlanta. That was like the track that I had, I think, pole and good first race result. And I was like a coward in the second race, dropped back some positions and was involved in incidents and got some penalty points on it, because I think otherwise I would have had one overall win. But yeah, that's on myself. But I did enjoy that track so much, and yeah, that was kind of my highlight this season, I think.
And looking ahead to next season as well, do you think you're going to stick with the Mustang, or do you think a change might be in order for season 10?
I think if you ask your friend to your left, I think he would suggest that I should change to another car. I'm currently running 2 more leagues with this car, and then I gonna take a little bit of a summer break to just rethink the thoughts, and then maybe I will be in another car. But for right now, it's the only GT3 car that I have driven for the past year, so it's the only car I have speed in. If I jump into any of the other cars that should be more competitive, I'm still slower than I am in my Ford, so I just have to hope the horse keep on going strong for the remaining of the other leagues that I'm doing.
I've come round to the Ford. I think she's really grown on me, and I do think you should probably stick with her just to build up your, like you say, what you're gaining now is experience and even set up tweaks and understanding with the car. So I think you should stick it out, and yeah, as long as the bop's not too bad on the Ford going to Ford, I think she's a good choice.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean too much. That is a tricky car.
Well, before we say goodbye to you, Simon, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
You well on me catch Sam.
Unfortunately, I think we lost connection
Oh.
slightly to Simon. We couldn't quite hear those
Good luck.
final few comments from him. But I'm sure it was a shout out to me and David about how great we are.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
I heard that through the.
I hear that through all the interviews. Honestly, I think it's unspoken. Sometimes they'll even say the complete opposite, but I think it's
Yeah.
what they mean. So yeah, very much appreciated all those kind words.
And quick team math. It looks like Impulse.
Yeah. I saw that question from Haldas. It just does look like Impulse have done it.
Tight though.
Pretty tight, yeah. When we were calculating earlier on in the race, it was a 16-point margin. I think it stayed around 16 points. I think Coco was able to gain a place on Ash, which is maybe 2 more points, and then Sheffers was able to gain a place on Eberstein, perhaps. So yeah, I think it was about 15 points, something like that. So yeah, should be the title for Impulse. But yeah, that looking back at the season, it was a lot of fun. I'm going to put you on the spot, but you did to the drivers. Are there any rounds that stand out to you?
The Suzuka battle with Talman and Mishka was a really good battle. It looked overdone at times, but they kept it fair until the very end. And I liked the Korshavin Talman battle because Talman's always had the one up on aggression on drivers, like fair aggression, but aggression nevertheless. And seeing Korshavin take it to him at Hockenheim and come out the victor, I thought it was a really cool moment because it's easy to get into that mindset where you get someone like Talman who's it's very fast, very aggressive, where you almost don't fight. But Korshavin took the gloves off and was like, all right, let's dance.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was a great battle back at Hockenheim on that occasion. I think Silverstone was... Suzuka. We didn't go to Silverstone. Suzuka was my race of the season. That was a really fantastic race. Yeah. Really cool to see these cars in those wet weather conditions. And yeah, the lead battle was fantastic and everything going on. We had amateurs leading the overall race. We had a crazy qualifying session with it getting wetter as the qualifying session went on. So hopefully we get a bit more rain for next season. Because there are plenty more championships going on Apex Racing League 2 that you can sign up for. Well, actually 3 you can sign up for. You can sign up for the prototypes on a Monday evening. There's only a couple more rounds of that to go, but you can still sign up to that. But the 2 main ones, Porsche Cup, which you're going to need to sign up for by the end of the week probably, because we're going to max out the grid. And the season that starts on Thursday, which will be broadcast here from the studio, will be the Touring Car Championship. So head over to apexracingleague.com in order to sign up for that. And of course, join the ARL Discord as well if you're interested at all in any potential series, because then you can see whenever a new series is launched. We can also follow the Apex Racing League social medias as well to see whenever announcements like that are made. But that pretty much is it for us for this season. So from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, from David Sampson and everyone here at the Apex Racing TV esports studio, we are going to say goodbye and we'll see you back for another season of the Apex Racing League GT3 trophy. See you then.